What's up then everyone, TomGorian here, and welcome to your very first look at F1 24 gameplay. A lot of interesting clips from this 13-minute video that I managed to dive down into around about 5.5-6 minutes of actual interesting gameplay of F1 23. If you want to see the raw video, they've uploaded it onto their channel. No commentary, just raw gameplay if you want to see that. But in this video, I'm going to try and break this gameplay video down as to what we're actually looking at. And the first piece of gameplay that you're looking at is a cockpit cam of a wet, Inter's wet, Spa with, I believe, that is Lando Norris. I think it's Lando Norris. It's either Norris or Piastri, but notice the changes at Spa, and you'll notice it in the next footage in this video. Cockpit cam enters conditions around Spa as he tries to go around the outside of Fernando Alonso. I think this is David Greco driving, but notice how no name has been changed. It's not just La Source, Radion, El Rouge, and Les Combes. They've also changed all of the track. Here it is once again. Notice the changes in the runoff. The colours, they've updated it now, finally. As you can see, this is Valtteri Bottas in the Kick Sauber. They've updated the gravel, they've updated the curbing, they've updated this track, and it's so fresh to see. Look at all the gravel on the inside and the outside of the curbs as well. Also, as you can see, you see the MFD as he goes a little bit wide. He runs onto the apex there, and there's the major change again to no name corner, the fast left-hander in towards Blanchimon. I believe that's Blanchimon or Pouon, I'm not really sure, I can't get the names right. But the changes that they've made to Spa, it's mostly with, yes, of course, with El Rouge and Radion, but they've also made the changes as far as the curbing. The curbs are now much more like leaner, much more smaller now, to the point where you can't really abuse them as much on this game as you could do on 23. And there's also more gravel as well. So as you can see, coming in towards Blanchimon, as you can see, they've also updated the curbs, entering the final corner. I think the bus stop is a little bit more tighter in this year's game than it was on last year. And again, they've updated the runoff, as you can see, on the right side. Now we're going to get our first gameplay of the Ferrari. A T-cam on board of the Ferrari as Charles Leclerc going around Lusail Qatar circuit. And again, this is another change that they've made. They've made changes to Silverstone, Spa, Qatar, and also Jeddah as well. The 4 tracks that they've updated in F1 24. Notice the pit lane on the right hand side. In last year's game, the pit lane would start at the final corner. In this year's game, it starts on the main straight. And I can't lie, this Ferrari looks really sexy. Unfortunately, here's a third person cam of the Alpine. And
that's just 30 seconds.
As you can see, Mark is still there as your race engineer. They have updated the runoffs again. He goes a little bit wide. I think this is David Greco. He goes a little bit wide, but notice the apexes and the runoffs here, they are much more wider on this year's game, including that one right there as well, just like the ones you see in real life. So it tells you that they've really focused on the runoffs, what is after the runoffs, and also the curbing on this year's game. And as you can see, once again, there's confirmation of the new pit lane, starting the main straight instead of last year where it started on the final corner. Now we're going to get some gameplay again of an offset T-cam as Carlos Sainz in the Ferrari around Shanghai International Circuit. I want you to pay attention to the tyre wear. Look at that, 75% tyre wear. I think this is a 25% race. It's 20 laps around Shanghai. So it looks like the front left will be taking a lot of punishment, especially around the circuit. So it looks like you might have to make a setup that really helps the front left when it comes to the long corners of turns 1, 2, and also the snail section before the long straight. Of course, we're going to get some pit lane gameplay as well. Nothing's really changed with the pit lane when it came to this year's game. It's still the same animations, no new camera angles, no new animations or nothing. But yeah, it looks like, again, tyre wear wise, it looks like these types of races might be a 1 or 2 stop. And as you can see as well, the final amount of gameplay for this video is around China again, this time in Daniel Ricciardo's Visa car. I'm not even going to pronounce how you say V car because I don't really know how to. It's Visa Red Bull, that's what I'm going to call it. As you can tell by the mirror arms and the car design, the car is done. It sounds good. As you can see, there's the Mercedes as well. The Mercedes is also done. It looks really nice. Unfortunately, we didn't get any onboard gameplay of the Mercedes. But as we approach the final corner, here in a wet intermediate Shanghai, he goes off the curb. You're going to hear the driver radios, and that is that.
Cheers, guys.
As you can hear, that is the new driver radio feature in F1 24. When you end a race or a session, you'll hear the drivers celebrating. What do you think? Thanks for watching.